recently Lindsey Graham had was presented with some audio of things that he had told a reporter. The New York Times decided to drop this audio, and he is in full damage control. In fact, CNN aired this audio of Lindsey Graham speaking to a reporter, Jonathan Martin. Now, this is right after the Capitol riot. That was at the time where Lindsey Graham was very, very concerned, likely because, he was kind of worried about the mob. Just saying, a little concerned. So now let's show or let you listen to that audio first, and then we'll break it down.
We'll actually come out of this thing stronger. Moments like this reset. It'll take a while. People have calmed down. People are, I don't want to be associated with that. This is a group within a group. And what this does, there'll be a rallying effect for a while where the country says we're better than this.
And Biden will help that, right?
Yeah, totally. He'll be maybe the best person to have, right? I mean, how bad can you get it with Joe Biden?
All right, so now before I get into that hilarious backpedal, I do want to talk about where he is wrong. Wrong on both counts. So, for one, the Republican Party, by and large, seems like, or at least the most vocal members of it, have not said that they don't want to be associated with what's going on in January 6th, or what had happened on January 6th. In fact, yes, you'll hear some like, oh, well, we denounced the violence, but then, of course, you also have people that are saying, well, the violence was actually Antifa. It was actually, people that were pretending to be Trump supporters. And really, the people that were there, they were just tourists. Tourists, not a big deal. I don't understand why everybody's just making such a big deal about what happened on January 6th in the Capitol. I don't understand. Look, let me show you some polling on this. In February, a poll by the American Enterprise Institute Survey Center on American Life found that nearly 40% of Republicans agreed that if elected leaders will not protect America, the people must do it themselves, even if it requires violence. So, violent actions. So, look, that's kind of a tacit approval of what happened on January 6th, because they're saying, well, yeah, of course, we think that Joe Biden stole the election, and so obviously, yes, violent. We need violence. Oh, okay. Well, in September, the Public Religion Research Institute also found that 30% of Republicans agreed that because things have gotten so far off track, true American patriots may have to resort to violence in order to save our country. In December, an AP and an R-S-C poll found that majorities of Democrats and independents called the events of January 6th either extremely or very violent. A plurality of Republicans surveyed, nearly 40%, however, 40% did also describe the events as either extremely or very violent, while 29%, almost a third, rated the events of either not very violent or not violent at all. So you got nearly a third of Republicans that are like, what violence? What violence? No, what are you talking about? In fact, the R-S-C called the rally that turned into the violence legitimate political discourse. Interesting. So instead of Republicans saying we're better than this and doing what Lindsey Graham had said that they were going to do, they're saying, oh, no, either it didn't happen, it wasn't us, or it wasn't that big of a deal. And basically, it depends on who you ask. It's a smattering of all three. And so now, that said, let me get to the other part. Joe Biden. So Lindsey Graham says, oh, Joe Biden, he's the right person for this, right? No, I don't agree at all. I think it was the wrong person for this. I would actually have preferred a very strong progressive who would push back, who would show actual strength in fighting against these people. But unfortunately, that's not what we have. And I'm arguing that Biden was never the right person for this moment. He has told his donors nothing will fundamentally change. That's really that's the only promise really that he has kept to his actual constituents And I'm not talking about the people, I'm talking about the donors, the owner donors. Now, that said, let's add in the fact that Lindsey Graham was very excited. Oh, Joe Biden, yay, right? Well, Lindsey Graham, warmonger, corporatist, just an altogether pretty crappy guy. If you have the endorsement of people like Lindsey Graham, even if it is in private, well, that says something, right? That says they didn't really expect Biden to do much change. Again, he knew, as I suspected a lot of these establishment Republicans also knew, that under Joe Biden, corporate rule would continue, and everything would be pretty much status quo. Defense contractors, some of Lindsey Graham's favorite people, would continue to get more and more money every year. And of course, what happened? They keep getting more and more money. Corporate rule, unabated. And without the insanity of Donald Trump. So it's kind of a win-win on that part as well. Now, that said, Lindsey Graham obviously changed his tune because at the end of the day, Lindsey Graham's a coward. And so he sees what the poll numbers are. He sees that Donald Trump still is in firm control of the party. And so with that, his lips firmly go on Donald Trump's ass once again. And so let's go to where he apologizes to Jesse Waters for these statements that he had made.
I was wrong. You know, I've known Joe for 30 years. He's a nice guy, but he's been a disaster as president. You know, this was literally happening on the day of January the 6th, and I was hoping that President Biden could bring us together. Common sense tells you want the president to be successful. But not only has he failed to bring us together, he has made us less safe. He's ruined our economy. All the bad guys are moving around the world. They didn't do this on Trump's watch because they're afraid of him. Nobody fears Joe Biden abroad, and at home his policies are failing.
All right, so look, this is why politicians are despised in Washington. Again, you had the private statements on January 6th when he might have thought that his life was in danger. And now you have the public statement. Well, I was wrong. Oh, yeah, of course, I was wrong. Yeah. No, they don't actually believe in anything that they're saying. They have no core principles. And the reason that I say that, too, is because what policies of Joe Biden's are failing? He hasn't really done a whole lot. A bipartisan infrastructure bill and some COVID relief. That's it. Again, Republicans have made sure that Joe Biden and Congress, as well of course as establishment corporate Democrats like Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema, have ensured that none of Joe Biden's agenda actually could get through. So there's actually very little that Biden has done. So you can't say, oh, his agenda, his policies are failing, when he hasn't actually really done a whole lot of policy, you see. But this is Lindsey Graham going and kissing Trump's ass again and again, as he usually does. And really, it's so that he can get the insane voters who support Trump in the Republican Party to support him. And so, look, just like Kevin McCarthy and all the other ghouls that are publicly now supporting Trump or defending Trump and all of that stuff, look, they're all doing the same thing. They're not going to criticize him, at least all that strongly. And at the end of the day, are going to support him, even though that he and Steve Bannon, Peter Navarro, John Eastman, and many others had tried to end our democracy. But again, it doesn't matter, because what Lindsey Graham is attracted to the most is power. He's always going to gravitate toward power. He is essentially a vulture, a hanger-on, and we should be widely mocked for it.